everybody feels like more things are happening in a shorter amount of time. So there's an acceleration, and time is a construct in our mind. There's no circuitry, there's no hardware in our brain to be able to understand time. It's a construct based on our past and how we predict the future.
In this eye-opening speech, Dr. Joe Dispenza will explain who we are, how we got here to this planet Earth, and what we are doing here. It is really exciting to hear this from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it will definitely help you to see this world with some other eyes, with some other point of view. And hopefully this can help you change your life to the better, since now you will know what's really happening here. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us your comment below. We are really curious to know what you think about all this. Enjoy Joe Dispenza's speech.
And so this is the time to be alive. This is the time to be here. This is the great moment. Everybody's interested. Everybody's interested in what we're doing, because this is the telltale moment if human beings have what it takes to truly be able to solve the problems that we've created from a limited level of consciousness, from a greater level of consciousness. The answers are all around us. We just got to wake up. Whatever it is, from global warming to politics to monetary systems, it's all there. We just have to emerge as a collective that's connected by the energy of love, of gratitude, of freedom, and to not shrink in fear or hostility or suffering as these changes take place, because now we're at the same vibrational energy that's created them. And so we have to change our attitude and invite these changes and believe that something greater is coming. You see, we are the people that we're waiting for. That's it. We're the people we're waiting for. So why not just wake up? So if I can contribute to that evolution in some way, if me personally, it's not about Joe Dispenza. I have no interest in that. I've given that up a long time ago. What I do have a fundamental interest in is what's possible for human beings, and it should never be about me. It should be about them, because I want them to experience their own empowerment. And you can't tell me you're too old. You can't tell me you're too sick. You can't tell me you're too overweight or underweight, or had too tough of a past, or your life is too fallen. You can't tell me any of those things any longer. You can't even tell me you don't even meditate. I never meditated before. I've seen every one of those excuses in every different genre experience transformation, which means then nobody is so special to be excluded from this phenomenon. And so I hope that I leave a mark in some way that empower people to no longer believe that they're limited. It's so easy to believe we're limited. Once they realize that they're empowered and they're unlimited, get out of the way. And if they're tempering those emotions and they're overcoming those addictions to those emotions, they'll see the hidden meaning behind all things. And they won't necessarily believe everything they're seeing on the news. They'll see the way it really is, because they're no longer controlled by those emotions. They're at a greater level of energy. And emotions are energy. And nobody changes until they change their energy. And when you change your energy, you change something in your life. It's the law. So people are doing it. We're at the point where they're doing it, and some of them are becoming it. And when you become it, no one can take it away from you. It's yours. And so we lead by example through this process. I believe that we are beings of light. We came from singularity. We came from source energy. We came from oneness. And we descended by choice down into density, like jumping off a cliff. Jump off the cliff all the way down into three-dimensional reality, and you have a body. And you can't experience a sunset or smelling a newborn baby's head, or drinking a great Rival del Duero. You can't have that experience without a body. So you need a body to experience this reality. And when you're oneness, and we all came from there, it gets a little boring after a while. So you ask the question, is there more? If you ask the question, is there more, you create separation. And there has to be more if it's a question in the realm of possibility. So then let's go explore more. So we dive all the way down the density to explore more. There are entities, beings that haven't descended down into density yet. They're still waiting. They're looking at us, the experiment. But they're missionaries. They're troubadours. They're individuals that took the leap just to see what was here. Now, we get caught in the illusion that this is real, because our senses fool us into believing that it is. So the pain, the suffering, the sadness in this plane of demonstration is for us to meet adversity, to be challenged. How else are you going to evolve without a challenge, an irritant? Taking a grain of sand and producing a pearl inside of an oyster. That's what we're doing. We're taking irritations and we're turning them into wisdom. And so you can, in one body, be connected to that oneness place again and still have a body. And so then, I know this from a scientific standpoint, and I know this from an experiential standpoint. Once you start connecting to this field of information that you have access to, and you're no longer in separation, because three-dimensional reality creates separation. There's an illusion that you're there and I'm here and you look different than me, and so there's more separation. But in the realm of the quantum, there is no separation. There's only wholeness and oneness. So then, it isn't about abstaining from life, to be pious or good or to please God or eat the right food. It's about expressing the divine through us. It is about going to greater levels of oneness and wholeness. So then, if you think about this, it's entirely possible that you could wake up and be connected to that field and still have a body. That means then to live in a plane of demonstration and to take experiences and turn them into wisdom, a memory without an emotional charge. You're no longer excusing yourself for being a certain way because of some past event. You're actually blessing the past event because it brought you to where you were today. That's no longer being a victim. You can't get out of here. You can't get out of here. You can't get out of the prison. You can't get out of the prison cell until you start overcoming those states. Otherwise, you're anchored here. You review your life at the end of your life and you say, I could have did it better. I just want another chance. I just want another shot at that. Because the soul is doing that, not the personality. The ego is saying, oh, I don't know if I want to suffer again. The soul's saying, I missed it. I got to go to school. I got to learn. And when I'm ready, I'm going to go back and get a body. I'm going to try it again. I want the same genetics. I want the same conditions. I want that same moment. I want that same moment again. I want another shot at that. And this is how the soul thinks. So it selects the genes, it selects the conditions, and then you go back into density and you forget. But the soul doesn't forget. So then the personality of the soul never dies. It's the personality that we're trying to evolve. We're working on evolving. So then you get knocked down enough in your life, you get betrayed enough, you get manipulated enough, you get sick enough, and you start asking, is there more? It's the same question you asked when you left. You ask the same question, is there more? And now here we go. The soul starts to wake up and it says there is more. And it starts to bring things to you. things, synchronicities. So you start getting books, you start getting information, and you start going, I knew this. I know this because I know this. I just forgot. And you start waking up again in the dream. And you start dreaming a greater dream. And that's how you get out of that one. And then you're at another level of consciousness. So I say, because I've had this experience, that it's entirely possible that you hook up to this field of information and experience a greater level of oneness, and your brain chemistry is changed and your eyes are open, and the light, the sound, the feeling, the taste, the smell is so profoundly elevated. You're seeing this three-dimensional reality from another dimension. And you cold feels good, pain feels good, life feels good. You came here to feel pain. You couldn't feel it without a body. You came here for all of it. You came here not just to feel the good things, you came here to feel it all because you wanted the full experience, because when you finally evolve back up to oneness, you're going to dump all of that wisdom into oneness, into the mind of God, and say, here's all my jewels. It was a crazy journey. It took me hundreds of thousands of lifetimes, but I'm back. And then you're going to say, is there more? And you're going to go again. And we're going to keep going. It's never going to end, but it's going to get greater. We just got to dig ourselves out of the density that we've gotten accustomed to believing is the reality. This is not real. And I'm not saying that in a philosophical sense. It's real when you define it with your senses. But the field is actually creating the material. So what's more real? Is it material or is it the field? So when you start putting your attention on the field and you start connecting to it, and all of a sudden everything in life starts to make sense. There's no longer polarity or separation or duality. You're seeing things that your brain had never seen before. You're knowing things that you never knew before. You're healing yourself. You're healing others. You're healing others on the other side of the planet. You're having mystical experiences and taking that knowledge all the way back into your body. Now you're graced by the divine in three-dimensional reality. You are divine in three-dimensional reality. Then you get to choose. Yeah, sure. You could leave. You could, but what would you bring? Because people think, well, I'm going to take my life and it's going to be over. Truth is, you can't escape you. You're eternal. I mean, you're going to have to face off with you, so you can do it now or you can do it later. And just because you don't have a body doesn't mean you're not going to be tormented by your own thoughts and feelings. You don't need a body for that. You just need a mind. So why not, in this plane of demonstration, separate yourself from social consciousness, from the common, and begin to challenge yourself to do the uncommon? What mystic, what saint, what master in history, they all said the same thing. Hey, if I can do this, so can you. You are everything you think. I mean, it's all there. It's just that people are waiting for somebody to do it for them. They're waiting for proof. We have to be that proof, and we're here to really enjoy it. And why? Because that's life. And so the present moment, what is it that brings us to the present moment? What is that? It's a feeling where you forget about everything else but where you're putting your attention. And that's the only thing we take with us. And that moment then, it's so funny. People remember two things about life. They remember the strongest emotions they've experienced, and they remember the end. And if you watch a movie, it's always the same thing. You watch anything, you experience anything, it's the heightened moment and it's the finish. That's what people remember. So why not go out big? I know that when you begin to truly change, when you begin to truly overcome your own personal limitations, when you begin to connect to a greater field of information, that carries a different energetic signature that begins to open your heart. Compassion is no longer something that you have to try to do. It's the side effect of who you are. So you look at a person and you can see a part of you that you used to be, that you no longer are, and you understand them. You understand their struggle because you've had a similar struggle, but you've overcome it, so you understand what that feels like. It's not the same when you are around the person that's pushing your buttons. The person that's pushing your buttons is because you're seeing a part of you that you are that you don't like. And that's why they're pushing your buttons. So you're at the same level of consciousness. You're at the same level of energy. And so then you walk away and say, I got to try to be compassionate with that person. So you learn, you review compassion, and you try it out, and it takes time, and you get better at it, and that's fine. It's one way to go. But when you're sitting in your meditation and you are struggling and you're realizing how hard it is to change, and you want to give up, and weeks go by and you're not getting anywhere, and you just keep plugging away, and then you start finding a crack, find an opening, and you slip through that opening and you feel relief, you feel joy, you feel freedom, you feel a sense of expansion, you feel love, you feel a joy for existence, you feel reborn in some level, you're baptized in a new energy. You'll have compassion for people without suffering. People have compassion with suffering is not compassion. They don't need to suffer with the person. They have just gotten to a level of mind that they understand where that person is because they've been that person. And they understand how hard it is to change. They understand the journey of what it takes to do that. They can see a person and see their blind spots, see their limitations, and may say a word or two to help them in a direction, not in an egocentric, I know the answers to your life, but really just in a simple level of guidance. That's true compassion when you have the understanding because you've been that person, but from an elevated state, not from a state of sympathy, but something where you understand it, you're detached from it, and in a sense then, you can actually cause the person to change a lot faster with that energy.
Now you know you can't be destroyed. You won't just vanish after this life. You came here from somewhere and you will return there. And you are here in this body to play, to learn and to create. Suffering is necessary only because we think so. As Dr. Joe Dispenza explained, we are not here to suffer, we are here to create. From the present state, from the present moment. By focusing on reality we want, by staying in that picture, by literally becoming that person. And this 3D reality we are in will confirm your state of being. Sooner or later you will manifest that person. I hope Dr. Joe Dispenza's explanation was simple and good enough for you to become more positive and eager to make a change. Because you can. We want to know what you think about this, so leave us your comment below. If you like what you heard, give your thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.